Fly me to the moon. Ladies and gentlemen, you better forget about not being anywhere but here tonight live in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, because my guest, ladies and gentlemen, is a man I've been looking forward to speaking with for quite a while. A man that comes from almost my end of the woods. A man that is certainly, undoubtedly, the future of pro wrestling. And boy, we're going to get his side of the story here. We're going to talk about a couple different things. You better believe I'm going to be talking about Chaser Wakefield here. What's the matter with Chaser Wakefield? I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about Andrew Lovelace here. I see our guest here is going to be teaming up with him at a wedding. What's the matter with everybody here? You better be tuning in to find out about that. I'm definitely going to be talking about that Silas Walker guy, although I don't really know why I'm going to talk about him, but I'm going to ask our guest about it because I watched a match that some Copper Dragon guy, a buddy of mine from the neighborhood, reviewed a match of about 2 or so months ago. Hey, yo, what's going on? But all kidding aside, we're going to talk a lot about this man, what he's up to. Not so much going to dwell in the past, but we're going to talk about the future. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give our guest that introduction here. I'm going to do it almost neighborhood style because, when I think about our guest, I see so many guys. I passed right by him, whether it's at the Knights of Columbus on Quinton Road a few days ago, whether it's on the little Italian coffee place I just passed by off Bay Parkway and 65th Street, or anywhere I go over on Kings Highway right between Day Hill Road and West 5th Street, and even in my own neck of the woods here in the Staten Island. But I'm going to now give one of our own that introduction. Plus, I'm going to open up this, and I certainly hope I ain't going to be sleeping with the fishes here when I open this, because I know plenty of guys from the neighborhood that would have slept with the fishes once they open it. But enough about that. I'll do that later. It is time to give our guest that introduction, the only platform that he'll get that introduction for. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce this man and get the show on the road here in style on Sportzwire Radio, the number one global radio station. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show, the future of pro wrestling from the Empire State. Now taking names all across the Southeast, the Northeast, and the Midwest. His name is simply put Nicky Chooch. My friend, how are we doing?
Dude, did you see me with the pillows on my ears?
Yeah, that would have probably worked before I did the intro. That would have worked before the intro. Yeah, that would have worked before it.
Well, it was kind of like in the middle of it. I think I blew one.
Nicky, do you have your hearing still? I mean, I got to be able to talk to you here over the next hour. I'm actually going to go back into my old accent from the neighborhood here. Am I going to be able to hear you over the next 90 or so minutes?
Hey, you fancy yourself a Brooklyn man, don't you?
I am definitely from Southwest Brooklyn, Bay Ridge, Bensonhurst, and Dyker Heights. I know plenty of guys alike of you.
Yeah, I know you didn't just Wikipedia this stuff and start cooking something up last minute.
Oh
This is
no,
you.
there's no. I lived it. I could tell you the Knights of Columbus is the little places on the corner where the guys that, let's say, they did some illegal activity, maybe some bookkeeping, a whole bunch of different things. The guys that would sit there at the Italian coffee shops that nobody would go into, but you knew what they were doing. Yeah, I seen it all. Whether it was 13th Avenue, 18th Avenue, Kings Highway, McDonald Avenue, 86th Street, the list goes on and on and on. But I mean, I could go down and talk
Hey,
about that, but nobody's going to know about that here on
I
Sportswire.
wasn't there for any of that. Yeah,
That's good.
this Aaron right here, I was not in any of those activities.
I'm glad, Nicky, because we are in prime time and Rhino's here tomorrow. So I'm glad that you could confirm that you haven't been in any illegal activities of any sorts. And when I'm in the neighborhood tomorrow, I'm good to know that you won't be a part of any of those things. But Nicky, it is great to be with you. Enough about that. Well, could talk about that all day, but this is not the platform here for that. But for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform you, Nicky Chooch, and everybody else here built on Sportswire Radio, tell us here why you are the future of pro wrestling.
Well, time is money, and I don't got that much time, but I'm here to make the money. Making the money on the independent scene, I'm going to VTW where the stars are. Let's talk about all these other guys that you've interviewed from different companies. Fucking garbage. And you want to come in the chat? You want to talk? You want to talk? I am on a tour, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on a tour around the entire country. If you want me to come to your backyard, your trampoline, punch you in the face, no problem. But I'm also doing the big thing. You're gonna see me get WWE ID'd. I'm going to be everywhere, okay? I am the future.
Mm-hmm.
So you go ahead and you boast Nicky Chooch is the future New York zone. Nobody's ever gonna call you a liar. You're the reverend. You're preaching the truth, aren't you?
Listen, Nicky, you're one of our own, and I actually don't get too many people actually from my state. I had one on Tuesday, but we're upstate. He doesn't quite have the lingo. He didn't have
that's a
the accent.
fugazi. I don't care if he's from Rochester. I don't care.
That's actually where he was from, basically right up there. Yeah, right up
Yeah,
there.
we called it all that shit upstate,
Yeah, they would basically look at it like Ohio, the South, different places. Yep. When you're from downstate, you're from New York City, Long Island. That's pretty much what most people would say is a New Yorker. Yes, I'm aware. But tell me, where are you going to go then? I see different places you want to go. VTW, I'm going to definitely talk about Chase Wakefield because you scored a victory over him recently. I'm not going to bring up Ace Christian on you. I know he was here a few days ago. I know you still got some scores to settle, but where would you like to go in 2025? I talk with wrestlers. You're right. I talk with people from all over the place. Some of them you're going to say are garbage. Some of them are going to say they're somebody else's treasure. But where would you like to go in 2025? Where is Nicky Chooch going?
I'm so glad you asked, Tommy Salami. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. So, Tommy, I got a list. I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to West Virginia. I'm probably going to go back to regular Virginia. I'm going to Pennsylvania. I'm going to dirty Jersey, full of the most disgusting mooks. But you know what? I've hated the disrespect my whole life. I just want to get in the ring with one Jersey guy and pound his face. That way I could be the one disrespecting somebody else.
Nicky, what do you not like about Jersey? I want to know, as a local guy, what don't you like about Jersey? You tell me what you don't like about Jersey.
Like the Southerners, they try to talk about like New Yorkers, how like we're like dirty people and stuff like that.
Is it the water when they're trying to make the pizza? Because they always say, you go to Jersey, you have pizza there, it don't taste like New York because of the water. Of course not. Is it the water or what?
Yeah, did you ever see Cabin Fever? That's probably the kind of water that they got over there. Where everybody starts getting sick and their skin's falling off. Jersey's disgusting. It's a cesspool. It's the place where everybody dumps their garbage. They got a big landfill. I don't want to get canceled like another Tony, but you know what I'm saying? They're just a giant landfill dump. That's what they are.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that. I will plead the fifth on that. Nicky, you could say what you want there, but Nicky, are you going to be Nicky? West Virginia, you talk about. You talk about Virginia. You talk about Ohio. Guys like you're going to be able to go in and do your thing and bada bing, bada boom. You're going to be able to do that in those places. They kind of look down on us a little bit over there, don't you
I'm
think?
gonna do all the things. I'm gonna start with a little example of something that I did at the end, towards the end of last year.
Okay.
So I get into this tag team match, right, with a tag team called the Other Guys. Now that didn't. Yeah, I know, not these guys, not those guys, but the other guys. Smacked them around a bunch.
All right.
I don't. I am not a tag team wrestler. I
You don't
am a
look like one,
singles.
Nicky. Nicky, you don't
No,
look like one.
and here's why. I try, it's not like I don't try. I try to have a chemistry with somebody. I come out, he joins me, I got my brush. Dude pulls out a brush as well. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here. Doesn't like how I play, not so much by the rules, and decides to abandon me. Now, I get hit with the heart attack, 1, 2, 3. It's 2-on-1. That's not fair. You want to talk about not playing by the rules? I don't fight 2-on-1. I'll tell you that. Anytime anybody tried to jump me, they ended up getting their asses handed to them. These guys got lucky. However,
Yeah.
let me get to the point. The whole time, Tom.
All right.
There's this commentator, and he's just toying with my name. And I'm sure you've heard people mess with the last name a little bit. I'm not gonna give anybody any new ideas if they haven't heard it already, but I didn't like what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I get to the next show.
Yeah.
The guy who walked out on me doesn't show up. So I don't have an opponent.
What's the matter here? Nicky, what's going on here?
The disrespect, first of all. Second of all, I gotta get paid. I gotta get my money. So the guy who was on commentary, now he's the ring announcer. How cheap are they, huh? You don't got you got somebody to fill both shoes or not,
Yeah.
I beat the living hell out of this guy. And guess what?
Wow.
He remembered my name by the end of the show, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, because you definitely gave him a beating to remember. You gave him that Nicky Chooch way, that's why you're the future of pro wrestling.
Yeah, a little pie zone kick. He's lucky he didn't get the Chooch driver.
Well, you know what? And I'm glad that I'm not getting it right now, but I want to do something for the audience because you're on Instagram and I see actually a bunch of new people here that are seeing you for the first time. Do me a favor. Nicky is on Instagram. And as a matter of fact, Nicky, you were looking for subscribers on YouTube. I gave you 3 just before. So you got 3 new subscribers on YouTube from
the more the merrier.
The Sportzwire YouTube page, the PWF YouTube page, which I own, the Promo Wrestling Federation YouTube page. And do me a favor, go out there on Instagram and give Nicky a follow. Just go out there and do it. I'm telling you, you don't want this guy to come down and knock on your door and he'll give you a beat down. Trust me, he'll do it Goodfellas style. Let me just tell it to you that way because I've seen guys like Nicky. I've seen guys like Nicky all my life. So trust me, you don't want to go out and be on the wrong side of Nicky Chooch there. All right, so you know what? I want to get it out of the way because I see Chase Wakefield's in the chat. Now, I'm not going to go there and versus the World Wrestling. Yeah, I think, Nicky, he is looking for a loan from me because he's got this wedding, which I see you're a part of. And that's for Chase, right? That's for Chase, obviously.
Yeah, that's for Chase.
That's for Chase, But I understand, Nicky, that you're actually going to be wrestling here. And I actually talked about it quite a bit yesterday with the man that's actually tag teaming with you or is one of your members here in this potential six-man tag here, Mr.
Hey,
Andrew.
Wakefield, I tried to break your back on that apron. I wish I did. Go ahead.
But then we wouldn't have had the wedding, though.
Who in their right mind wants to marry that? He looks like the thing from The Grudge that crawls out of the television. He's smaller than my exoskeleton. You understand?
Well, I will say this.
Appreciate all the follows.
Well, listen. Well, that's why we take care of those from our own. But I guess you could say Mr. Wakefield might be as bony as anybody else is out there. But you are in a match here against one man you wrestled recently in Silas Walker, another man you know very well in Brandon Castelli, and this mystery person here. So, I know it's a while away from now, Nicky, but it is the future, and you did want to talk about the future. So, what's going on here?
Yeah, that guy sure is white, ain't he? He ain't got no eyeballs, no mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't gonna see me coming. I'll tell you that much.
Well, we don't know what he is. Actually, we don't know what he is yet.
I first of all, what the hell is this thing? I never agreed to do this. What?
Well, apparently you're in a photo, and you're with Andrew Lovelace, who was here yesterday, and D'Lo Smith. I know
That's D'Lo, yeah.
It's D'Lo and Andrew Lovelace, who was talking about you and quite a bit.
And his old dirty shoes.
Yeah, there's it's today's menu, and Mr. Wakefield has put the menu out. In fact, Mr. Wakefield here has put a menu out. Almost reminds me of all those little places in the neighborhood that would put out on the chalkboard, and they
no. If Chase Wakefield is putting out a menu, it's definitely a Jersey menu, not a New York menu.
Well, I don't know if he's a Jersey guy. He's a Pennsylvania guy, so he'd probably be indifferent. But
he's a slime ball. Oh, they got worse pizza than.
Well, I'm not gonna go there at this point. I mean, but I'll let you handle some of that. But so you want to be a part of this match, or maybe you're gonna find something else to do?
No, wait, hold on. I want to roast these mooks one at a time. Can we do that?
You can say anything you want, Nicky. You're live.
All right. Started with Pube Head over here, Brandon Castelli. He wears these stupid sunglasses because he thinks that the 80s are back. Everybody wears a leather jacket now. You're not cool, kid, all right? Silas Walker. Let me tell you something nice that I did for Mr. Silas. I talked about his shoes so bad that he went out and bought a new pair of wrestling boots. If I could get under your skin enough for you to do something nice for yourself, you're welcome. D'Lo. D'Lo eliminated me in that crappy little battle royal that I got thrown in. And it wasn't he got lucky because there was outside interference. It wasn't even fair. So then he went on and failed. So he's a failure. This guy is way too white with red sunglasses. I don't know him.
And they call him a dirty DJ white boy, DJ Dirty White Boy. That's what they call him, Andrew Lovelace. So he's a DJ.
Yeah, that definitely looks like it suits him. He kind of looks like, you remember when they did the real Slim Shady video and they had all the extras?
Yeah.
This guy, he looks like he might have been an extra for the extras, if you know what I'm saying.
So it sounds like you don't really have much in common with your at least partners in this match. So I mean, what are you gonna do? You said you're not a tag team wrestler. I mean, maybe you want to find something else to do. And whenever.
Oh, I got a I can't. This is such small print. I can't even read it. I gotta. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know it was a tag team match. I thought I was gonna fight all these guys. It could have been a 1-2. Bring the white guy. I don't know if he's got special powers.
Well, we don't actually know anything about him. I mean, who do you think this could be? I mean, do you have an idea of any sorts? Do you know? I mean, you listen. You have a lot of sources. You definitely know a lot of people. You're a local guy like me. I mean, there's definitely people out in the underground in the streets. I mean, what is the streets telling you about this?
It looks like default. I don't even know. I don't even think he knows. I don't even think Chase Wakefield. He probably didn't even plan ahead enough. He's gonna find some bum on the side of the road or some dude who's hanging out in the basement playing Dungeons and Dragons with him. Hey, can you come and fight in my wedding show? And the guy.
So it's a surprise Chase is getting married then, huh? This must be shocking to you, Nicky, that Chase.
Yeah, it was a lucky guy.
Well, I think he would probably agree with you on that. He's definitely. Probably out of his league on this for sure. But so I guess then not too fond of what you've been put in here, Nicky, huh?
No, I mean, whatever. Like, it should be a singles match, and the winner gets a cash prize or something like that. Not with all these mooks, they're nobodies.
You want a bonus, Nicky. I get it. You want a bonus because you want to go out there, maybe place a better two with your bookie. Maybe you want to go out there and, I don't know, buy a new cigar. Maybe you want to go out there and buy yourself a suit. I got it. I got you.
They got casinos in Pennsylvania, I don't know if we're going to do this in Pennsylvania.
We don't have casino. Well, in downstate, we don't really have them yet. So,
no.
All right. Well, that's what you want to do. You want to go out and have a good time. But at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, not so much of a good time for you then.
I'm not trying to shit on this guy's wedding, like I just don't understand why you want a big star like me with all these nobodies.
Well, I think what he was trying to do was he's really trying to make this the biggest wrestling super show in history. And maybe he thought to put differences aside with you and him that he wanted you on the show. I mean, he talks to me very, very regularly, and he tells me that he wants this to be the greatest wrestling super show in history. So maybe he decided to call a guy like you and maybe place a bet on you, knowing with your activity that it wouldn't be illegal to say that this would be the greatest wrestling super show in history because Nicky Chooch is on it. Just saying.
I got D'Lo on my team.
You got D'Lo on your team, yeah.
He's athletic, and
Yeah.
this other guy, maybe he looks like he was trained by Blade. Wesley Snipes.
And Wesley Snipes, ironically enough, was in jail for some illegal activity. Some illegal things he did. But
nothing I was involved in, thankfully.
You weren't in that, but yeah. So I guess you got one half Blade, one half athleticism against Silas Walker and Brandon Castelli, who's either a rock mauler, or rocks hard and is a mauler and is the DBW champion, and a guy.
Yeah, he wants to be a mauler, big baller, shot caller, but he ain't nothing but.
And he's not sneaky. And he's not Sneaky Pete.
That's neither here nor there, but you're a funny guy, Tom. Let me tell you something. When I first started seeing you pop up with the Sportzwire and the guys were talking about you, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I thought you were one of the Hasidic Jews in the city with the, you got like the whole thing going on.
It's funny you said that. I actually I hosted a radio show with actually an Hasidic Jewish man named Heshi Tischler, actually, who's actually been to jail, actually.
Tushy Hustler.
Well, close enough. He was actually here for my 1,000 subscriber show. We did a show together for 7 months. He's been my employer for a couple of different things. So yeah, it's funny.
Hey, congratulations. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, not for me. I mean, there's no. You don't have to worry about me. I'm doing fine. But I've heard the Hasidic one, and I spend a lot of time. I have a lot of Hasidic Jewish friends. I mean, but I have a lot of friends, but I don't have as many friends as you, Nicky, because Nicky, you're worldwide. You're nationwide, as a matter of fact. You want to go to Ohio. You want to go to Pennsylvania again.
I'm gonna go to these places. I'm in the process of creating the Nicky Chooch tour, and it's gonna end in New York. That's what I was trying to really get at before, but I got sidetracked.
This is going to be bigger than the Eras tour, right? Hands down.
Hey, you talk about Swifty?
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to Swift you there, but yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be bigger than a lot of things. This is probably going to be bigger than this year's Super Bowl. Hopefully not with Kansas City in it.
Oh, well, you know what? I would say that most of America outside of Kansas City would probably agree with you on that. Touche. But I see people here. You got to follow Nicky on Instagram. I see like 100 people now watching us. No joke, 100 people. So
they've been popping up.
They go out there, and I'll get to the chat in a few minutes. There's a few people that want to talk to you, talk to me. We'll do that. But Nicky, follow him on Instagram, and I would appreciate that. All right, so we'll take that off the screen. We'll come back to you. I have a package I'm going to open up here in a few minutes. So hopefully it's nothing too crazy, nothing too illegal. But, I guess that I do want to talk about Silas Walker here, because Mr. Walker and I were talking about you quite a bit because you wrestled a match with him. It was kind of a match where, like, Copper Dragon reviewed it. And I should put the match up on the screen and we could talk about it for a few minutes. But, obviously I don't want to do anything to anger you. Yeah.
What's a Copper Dragon? You just cast like a Harry Potter spell on me or something like that?
No, he's a guy that reviewed your match with Silas, actually. He's a big thing on TikTok. Yeah, he's a big thing on TikTok. He was one of the guys that was involved in the Global Backyard Wrestling Network, otherwise known as the GBYWN once upon a time. But I know you're obviously focused on, placing bets, buying new suits, so you wouldn't know anything about that stuff. Nicky, don't even worry about it. Don't even get sidetracked.
I don't even know if I want you to get in this chat because it's these backyard wrestlers that wrestle on dirty mattresses that got thrown out. They're living this pipe dream. It's like Now, yeah, I'm in an era where like almost anybody could become a wrestler, but these guys, they still can't even become real wrestlers. They got to
Well,
be,
I
you
don't
know,
know, but Nikki, I don't know if I would say that necessarily. But why do you feel that way? That's kind
they're
of.
BYBs, they're backyard bitches.
Oh, well, Nikki, I could definitely see you're from the neighborhood. I don't know if I could endorse that, but you have your opinions, and obviously, we're looking forward to watching you in other places, definitely. So,
Everybody's first or last name is Phoenix or Austin. Like, be original, guys. I bet some of you guys are in here too. You losers.
well, there are
Absolute
some people
Nicky
you've
Chooch,
wrestled.
winner.
Well,
Winner, baby.
Nikki, you are a winner. I'm almost tempted to not put this match up with Mr. Walker. Maybe I'll put it up anyway. But maybe I'll put it up anyway. We'll put it up because I do want to get your opinions because I'm going to show it here for the audience. Give me 1 second. We're going to go like this right here. I gotta find it in the DBW link. So give me
Just having an off
one.
night.
You having an off? Then why are you having it? I thought you were wanting to
No,
be here.
no. That night I was having an off night. Mr. Dirty Shoes, you know?
Oh well, well that's a
Bugs in
different show.
Maryland.
Well,
There
what's wrong with Maryland? I thought you liked Maryland. What's the
there
matter?
were
They didn't give
gnat.
you the spaghetti
No.
wasn't good over there.
There was gnats in the ring, man. Next thing I know, I'm getting picked. You'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put it up here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it here. But my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And again, you got to be here 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm gonna be here with some guy named Rhino. You'll definitely want to tune into that. And I got the match right here, though. But here we go. That was quick, Nikki. I actually found it a lot quicker than a New York Minute. Some people aren't taking too kindly tonight, Nikki, to you. But
Not as quick as a gore.
Well, you'll find that out tomorrow. But here we go, and there you have it. You're here, and tell us what's
Beautiful
going
body.
through your mind here.
God, I'm sexy.
Well, I'll let Zilla tell you that. But I'll leave that at that. But
Godzilla.
not quite. But
That headlock is garbage. Watch what I do to this
feel on Silas there. You got him there. You're kind of tight there. Well, you're feeling him up.
That's a headlock. That's a headlock.
That was strong.
Boom. Takeover.
Well, you got to work him down. You got to wear him down a little bit. Silas is a deceptively tall and lanky wrestler there.
I was trying to break his neck right there. He's got a strong neck.
Do that for?
Oh, there he goes doing something unsanitary.
So I guess you would have, Nikki, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. You do have something in common there then with the man that uses the gore. Definitely he likes his ring sanitary. He's a big sanitary person. He's very likes to be clean, Mr. Rhino there. But I won't spoil it too much for the audience. But Silas is definitely going after you a little bit there. He's getting mad, Silas. He's getting mad there.
I don't know. He chopped me in the corner. The referee didn't even say, "Hey, get him out of the corner." This was all wrong from the jump. Speaking of jump, the hell was that?
And it wasn't Van Halen's David Lee Roth jumping. He literally jumped. I mean, so while Silas,
my grandmother could do a better drop kick at a New York wedding. They don't.
Well, I mean, she could probably do a better jump than David Lee Roth could these days, but I'll leave that at that. But obviously, Mr. Walker, he might as well say jump on you, but you are certainly feeling your kneecap there, it looked like.
Yeah, this is still the same old Corey, I'll tell you.
Who I don't know anybody named Corey.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. I know somebody named Corey.
Matthews from Boy Meets World. I mean,
I love Boy Meets World, but we're talking about Corey in the ring. Come on.
I don't know anybody named Corey. I see Silas Walker in front of me.
I see Corey telling the same story. Oh, watch this. Well, boom, right on the nose. How you doing?
Well, yeah, well, you guys.
I wish you had audio. I slapped the shit out of him.
All right, I'm gonna put the volume. I was trying to hear your volume.
You gotta hear that the slap. Bam!
I cannot stop talking about it.
That hurt, Nicky. That really hurt.
Yeah, I work all day. I get treated like this. I'm in the car for 6 hours going to Maryland.
And it's flipped in a good way because now he's the global champion.
Ooh, baby! What did the 5 fingers say to the face, Tommy?
Nicky, that hurt.
Yeah. Now, how's your back, huh?
I'll have to let you know after this.
No, not you, him.
I'll still let you know after this. You're having fun, Nicky. Maybe Maryland's not so bad after all.
Oh yeah. See, that's a Brooklyn stomp. That was for you. That one was for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, somewhere my dad's looking upstairs and would appreciate that. He's not with us no more, but he would appreciate that reference. But I'll let guys in the neighborhood know tomorrow. When I run into some of the guys in the neighborhood, I'll let them know. But obviously, I'm gonna put the volume down.
I got till 5.
Yeah.
I already heard this already, but
I just wanted you to hear the slap. It was
I watched it like
outstanding.
14. I've watched the match like 14 times. I mean, so I know the match already, but I'll say hello to my buddy Ed Pizzo out there. Well, I will call when we're off the air. A buddy of mine from LinkedIn. I'll say thank you for tuning in. I actually got a LinkedIn follower here. That's nice. Always good to have my business contacts check in. But thank you, Ed, for your friendship over the years. But he says hi. But you are certainly saying hi to Silas because I don't know anybody named Corey. I don't. You know, maybe you're mad at Corey because Corey's a Colts fan. You're somebody like you might be a different team's fan, but
the Colts haven't been good since they had the wrong Manning.
Well, I'll leave that at that. But you definitely look like you are definitely just trying to hurt Silas, and this is a legendary pose.
Yeah, trying to knock him back to his Corey years with that boot. Bang! You see that? That was beautiful.
It was as beautiful as a piece of New York cheesecake, but be that as it may. But Nicky, I tell you what, I don't want to get on your bad side because we could see here that Silas is feeling it. I mean, it's a hard fought match for him, and and you're here and you're certainly making yourself useful.
A Nicky Chooch match is a hard fought match for anybody. To see they get this idea of me because I take my time coming out to the ring. I take my jacket off, I put it on the hanger all nice. So they think I'm a pushover. And next thing they know, they're getting pushed over, they're getting pinned, and Nicky Chooch is a winner. Boom.
Well, you are a winner, but I don't know about in this match you'll be a winner. But
hey, shut up, Tom.
The match already happened. I mean, I wish I could give you a different outcome, but
here come the Nats. The Nats are coming. You see the Nats?
Yep, I see it.
See, if these DBW mooks had 8K, you'd see the Nets.
But they don't. They don't have the AK. They don't have it. But you. Hey,
I got the AK, but I can't really talk about that on the air.
Yeah, I would say for the audience that would be a good idea not to talk about that. But Silas doesn't seem like he's doing much talking right now.
I ain't gotten in trouble since 06, okay?
Okay, that's good to know. We want to keep you out of trouble. We want to see you in the ring and rather not outside the ring. But it must have been a good day. Yeah, it's a great day we're talking right now, Ed. But Silas is definitely. I don't know if he's having a good day. I don't know if he's having a good day though with you. How about his drop kick there? The drop kick from the ceiling. And how about this with the referee, Nicky? I mean, seems like some illegal activity here. Should on
his part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You looking for something there, Nicky? What's the matter? You dropped $20? You dropped $50?
No, I had just realized that this referee was a fugazi. He's a plant.
I've heard that word used before. I've heard that word in the neighborhood used, but Silas is definitely not doing anything fugazi.
But, hold on. He's got his own personal ref. Look how fat. That wasn't normal.
No.
You see what he did with his hair? That was a like what they do in baseball, they kind of make the signs. These two are working together, I'm telling you.
Oh, so you're saying sign stealing. You're saying there's some sign stealing going around, and maybe instead we should just go like this and say a sign of the cross, and
Listen, there was plenty of word out there that Nicky Chooch was coming to DBW. This guy had plenty of time.
They were talking. All right.
He knows I'm coming for gold. Probably his. See, look how fast he wants that belt back. That referee and him, there was a money exchange, I'm telling you.
Nicky has his own. Nicky, he has his own problems, Silas, right now in DBW. I don't know if that would be the case, but
What kind of problems he have? The Corey
oh,
story?
no, I don't know anybody named Corey, so I wouldn't be able to elaborate on that. But I know that Silas is having plenty of problems with this guy Steven Gaynor, who I think probably brought you in for that match in DBW. He's the general manager there. But if you want to watch more of DBW and you want to watch,
Hold
Nicky
on.
Chooch, yep.
Hold on. I would love to sing the praises of Mr. Gaynor.
Why would you want to sing the praises of Mr. Gaynor, knowing that Mr. Walker's here in the chat right now? Why would you do that?
Wonderful man. Actually, that very night, him and his wife, they rolled out the red carpet. They let me stay at their house. We
Did they cook
got
the
that.
spaghetti with marinara sauce? Did you get spaghetti with marinara sauce? Did you get a piece of Italian bread on the side? Is that what they did for you or what?
Hey, somebody's been talking to you.
I'm
Wasn't
from
exactly
the neighborhood. Listen, I know my mother would cook on Sundays, even though I'm Irish. My dad grew up all around Italians. They used to say when I was a kid, I was practically an Italian. So I know Sundays, my mother would cook raviolis or she would cook spaghetti and meatballs, and we get a big loaf of Italian because I lived where all the Italian bakeries were. So I know what Sundays like. So maybe that's what Mr. Gaynor gave you.
All right, so if somehow, some way, Kim sees this is Mrs. Gaynor. I mean, absolute no disrespect. It wasn't the most authentic thing that I'm used to, but it was a long night full of Nats and Fugazi referees, and it was well appreciated. It was a nice hearty meal, and it was well appreciated. Nicky Chooch loves the Gaynor family. Mwah.
But Silas Walker doesn't. Just want to remind you.
Who cares? Who gives a shit?
You know what? I'm gonna get to the chat. I got 150 people watching this somehow, and maybe they wanted to see you rather than Rhino. Maybe that's what it is, Nicky. Forget about Rhino.
Yeah, bring these fucking losers in.
Forget about the War Machine. Forget about the Man Beast. Maybe it's Nicky Chooch they were coming in for.
You got the Chooch machine running 24/7.
I'll tell you what. Forget about Rhino. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't air Rhino on Sportzwire tomorrow. We should have you come back tomorrow instead. Maybe that's what we should do. That's why everybody's here tonight. They would rather see you again than Rhino.
Hey, Rhino is as a human being, he's kind of like the shape of his body, square.
I'm gonna certainly not comment on that because he actually does have my.
You might want to cut that out.
We're not cutting that out. I think
hey,
knowing
live.
Rhino, yeah, we're live, and knowing Rhino, he's in bed by now. He actually goes to bed early, by the way. Yes, I know the man well enough that he goes to bed early. Dude,
what I say?
He's in bed like
points.
He's in bed like 9 o'clock. He's just not like a late night person. He's just not.
He's a square.
I'm not going to go there on that. You can tune in tomorrow night, though. Thank you, Zilla. Zilla would like to say hello to you. All wrestling matters. But Chase Wakefield's here. He says, Nicky Chooch wishes he can be as cool as someone like Tony Montana. Montana?
Two different ballparks, kid.
Tony Montana?
Move on. Next.
That's Cuban. Tony Montana. Montana's Cuban. Come on.
And if anything, I wouldn't be Tony Montana. I'd be Castro. I'd be running everything.
We'll move on here. Devil's here. Nathaniel Rage, by the way, from West Virginia. He is from West Virginia.
You know what? Shout out to this Nathaniel.
Yes, why?
Gave me a follow. Good kid.
Yes, he did. Nathaniel's one of my guys. He's one of my guys. He's from Appalachia.
Now you're one of my
West
guys.
Virginia.
One of my following guys.
And you know what? They had two feet of snow 2 days ago there. 2 feet of snow.
Tom.
Yeah, what?
Tom. Something that never happens in the Carolinas.
Well,
tomorrow we're getting snow.
Wow. It's almost like old times. Like it's like you're back in New York again. You're back on Long Island. Listen,
I can't escape this shit. I'm telling you. Like people, they're migrating. I came to get away from them because they would, New Yorkers get on other New Yorkers' nerves really fast. Dead ass.
Well, you know what they say for the chat, that people, when they see New Yorkers, they hope they don't bring their lifestyle and their way of life when they move with them to these different places when they migrate. But unfortunately for you, Nicky, you are getting New York's weather here tomorrow in the Carolinas. Sorry about that. Well, forget about it. Yes, thank you, Zilla. We appreciate Nathaniel. Zilla likes your pajamas.
Listen. My wife bought me these pajamas
We're not arguing
and
with
that's a shoot. My wife knows that I like the finer things. These are satin, okay? They don't come cheap, they don't come easy, but they come comfortable. And as soon as this thing's over, and hopefully it's over soon because Nicky Chooch got some Z's to get. Next
We're
morning,
gonna go. We're gonna
I'm
let
in
you
the
go
gym.
soon.
Listen. I get up. This is what winners do. Winners get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym. They get on the stairmaster. They get that cardio right. They get on the bench press to make that chest nice and big and strong. And then these biceps right here, they're about to
Yeah.
burst out of the satin. I can't even.
I could see, Nicky, you're just dripping with machismo and you're oozing with confidence, which is why I'll get to the chat for you. So you're coming to West Virginia. I may have to come to that show. He'd like to watch you wrestle, Nathaniel.
Okay.
I'll be good.
You watch me win.
Well, that's why he wants to watch you. Speaking of people here, my good friend, Mr. Justin Parsley, is this Chooch trained? Yes, he's Chooch trained. You are. You actually are Chooch trained.
And I got references. I could start listing off names, but who's this mook? It looks like a hillbilly.
Some people have compared him to Ned Flanders, but he's actually the hall monitor of Sportswire Radio. His name is Justin Parsley. He's the PWF world champion. He wrestles out of the IMF in Iowa, which I hear,
Wait,
hear
PWF.
the PWF, the Pride Wrestling Federation. Yes. Which
Okay,
I
okay.
the
What kind of pride? Eh?
Well, apparently not enough pride for Mr. Parsley to
Other
be
side of the
compared-
tracks? Yeah, well, okay, Mr. Parsley. First of all, you look like crystal meth in human form. Second of all, who are you to question me? I was trained by George South. I was trained by J.D. Drake, and I was trained by Caprice Coleman. So blow it out your
Caprice.
ass.
I actually do know Caprice, by the way. Caprice is a name that's come up on Sportswire, so I can vouch for you. But my good friend, Mr. Ox McCoy, wants to. He really, by the way, I'm in a group chat, and he loves you right now tonight on Sportswire. Chooch, he's the IMF Hardcore Champion.
Another guy that followed me.
He followed. See, well, that's what I do here. Kyle Shelby, by the way, one of my regulars, and a guy from ROEW, said, Chooch. See, I got you some followers, and I still haven't opened my package yet. Hi to the House of Wolves member, Ox McCoy. Who else we got here? Yep, hype. Tony Montana wishes he could be great as Kyle Shelby. The world is mine, Chico. What does it have to do with you, though? I don't know. We'll move on.
Absolutely nothing. That's another Mark.
Well, I mean, I was friends with a Mark growing up, but I don't know any Marks, period. But that's Nicky's page on Instagram. Give him a follow. Just followed you. My buddy, Mr. Ed Pizzo, my good friend, who I think I was supposed to do something with, and I think he referenced me earlier. So I'll talk to him later.
He looks important. Is he an attorney or something?
No, he's actually more important than that. He's like, he had a platform that was designed to like take like everything, whether it's like racing, wrestling, and like stream it into one big like whole thing. So he's like a business entrepreneur, basically.
Hey, Mr. Pizzo, give me a call. I'll get in a race car. I'll get in a ring. I'll take the race car and put it in the ring. Help me make money. I'll help you make money. Thank you too much. Thank you. Okay.
Well, we'll move on here. Chase is a friend of ours. We can't talk about him like that. Why I oughta.
Okay. He looks like a Halloween mask.
I'm gonna say not my opinion. But there's somebody that would like to say Choochie baby. Don't know anything about it.
Well, all right, hold on. That is the most beautiful woman in the entire world. That is Mrs. Chooch.
Oh well, obviously Mrs. Chooch knows style and class, and
she has my heart, and she bought me these pajamas.
Well, I could see, yeah, fine, great taste.
I know.
Thank you, Ed. Yes, I will reach out to you after the show. I will do that. Detroit would Moog, New York Pizza Paisan. Come on now. Well, I love all pizzas, but I think Nicky will handle that one.
I think I just blew a short circuit. What the fuck?
We'll move on here, Nicky. We'll move on here. We'll move on.
Can you kick people out?
No, we're not going to kick anybody out, Nicky.
But can you?
I could, but I'm not going to do that. Well, let's get to the chat. Let's move.
Come on, same team here, New York.
I know I'm on your team, but I can't kick my people out. Parsley,
unless you're Eminem, fuck Detroit.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that at that. But you and Mr. Parsley should team up, Sleazy and Greasy.
No.
Why not? Tax evasion was yeah. Well, that's I do know a few people who have dealt with that. Not me, but
Not
moving
me.
on.
Eh,
Godric Sandwell, the mystery partner. Interesting name. I don't know if Silas and Brandon Costelli would have. That was against you and D'Lo and Andrew Lovelace. I don't know. Have you ever run into a Godric Sandwell? He wrestles in like Pennsylvania. Do you do anything in the Pennsylvania independent scene, like PWX 814 wrestling? You ever wrestle up in Pennsylvania? So maybe that's why she referenced that. I don't know.
Not
But
yet.
oh well, I'm sure you will after this show. Thank you for that. A man that I know you really rather not talk about, Scorpion the Assassin. Nicky, congrats on your win
Some
over me.
respect.
Even though it took exposing the turnbuckle, steel, and then you're using the ring to do it. Heads
I
up,
exposed you.
no hit contract for you needed, no cornfield or basement, just squared circle. I put the D in the thing. Christmas
All
chaos
right.
he's referring to. Yep.
I will give Scorpion the Assassin his flowers, but not for long.
You a flowers guy, Nicky? Ah, come on. I don't know about
Not those kind of flowers.
that.
I'm just
All right.
saying there's some respect there, and he probably used what was left in his tank against me, but I do respect Scorpion, and I appreciate what he's done for a very long time, not just in UWF, but in multiple places. He's
NUW,
he's been there and done
DBW. Yep.
that,
Yeah, he's been
but
and
it's
done
not his
that. He's
time
had
anymore. It's not his time anymore. It's my time.
well, it's your time figuratively and literally because you're live right now. I mean, technically, it's your time. A lot of
Okay.
people want to talk to you tonight, Nicky. A lot of people want to talk to you. Chase Wakefield says, I hate Chooch so much, but I'd rather have him come and wrestle at my wedding than some other people. He referred to Justin Parsley on this one. By the way, Mr. Parsley, the person that you said a few things about, which I don't know if I would certainly have agreed with, but Mr. Wakefield has actually banned Mr. Parsley from wrestling at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. So I don't know
Only
if
smart
there's
thing he's done this year.
well, I think the smart thing he will do is come back onto Sportswire, but that's a different show. Thank you, Ed, for your support. We're going to definitely talk when I'm off the air. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you. Good to see you, my man. Yep. And Mr. Parsley, don't necessarily know if he's too happy with you right now, but I can understand in a way. There is Silas. He said Tucci baby.
Hey, what's up, Silas? How you doing?
See, you're all right with Silas. And
Eh,
Zilla loves
yeah.
Silas Walker. Loves
Listen,
Silas Walker.
he got rid of the shoes. The man knows how to dress. He knows how to walk out with a championship. Like
He
Harley
does.
Race holds it right there. I give him my respect, and he's
Yeah.
Nats and crooked referee and not. I've beaten people with a lot more going on. The dude got the job done, and he's got my respect. And if he ever needs backup in a situation, maybe I'll be there.
You know what? Who knows? Never say never. We love, like, and appreciate Silas Walker. You ever heard of this guy, Aaron Blaze?
Oh God, it's one of those. It's one of those creator wrestling names.
That's WWE 2K, but he's here with us though. He's just coming from Oregon, by the way. He was making some rumblings about going to some different places. In fact, if I could, I saw on his Instagram story earlier that he mentioned your company that you wrestle at versus the World Wrestling. That's where he referenced it. He referenced that he would like to wrestle there. What do you think about that? You're Nicky Chooch. I mean, you're the future of pro wrestling. And this guy, Aaron Blaze, literally was just in Oregon. Now he wants to bounce and be the traveling Willowberry almost and be the trailblazer to now North Carolina. What do you think about that?
I think you'll probably get smacked around like the last mook who came to visit.
I'm gonna move on. I know exactly what that term is. Dooley is ready, boys. That's great. Hey, thank you. Yes, hello to the Aaron Blaze. Hello, Aaron. Glad he's back. Safe travels. Il Drago, my co-host next Sunday. We're actually doing something a little different, Nicky, on Sportswire. I'm actually doing a show where I'm actually going to let Il Drago talk about some different things wrestlers do. It's called the High Chief Talks. He's going to talk about just what you guys do in terms of preparation, going out there in the ring, the do's and don'ts, the different things, all stuff I know nothing about because I know nothing about wrestling, Nicky. I know absolutely zero about it. I only know about the people in the neighborhood. I only know about Brooklyn. I know nothing about anything else. So I'm going to let the High Chief talk about what's what's to do and what not to do as a wrestler. So because I really know nothing about wrestling, so I'm just gonna let Il Drago just host the show basically, and I'll just
You
you know.
you should have Aaron Blaze do the same thing and admit the
Yeah.
same things as you.
Well, the difference is that I'm not a wrestler, though. I mean, I don't know about Mr. Blaze, but
Oh, he claims to be. He made his character in 2K24.
you don't, Nicky. You're not playing 2K24. You're probably stuck on like PlayStation still, playing like WWF Warzone.
Listen. I got a 6-year-old. He is the man.
I'm sure he is.
He's better. He's a better wrestler already than 9/10 of these backyard guys that are in here commenting.
Well,
The kid knows. He knows headlock, tackle, drop down, get it again, and they probably don't even know what I'm talking about right now.
No, you know what? Well, that's why I'm gonna move on to the next comment. THC. What's the THC reference for? I'll move
I
on.
don't know. I don't smoke
Yes.
that shit.
You know what? I have never smoked once in my life, by the way. Never smoked a cigarette, never smoked marijuana. I don't drink alcohol, believe it or not.
That's why you're able to do that annoying intro.
Well, my mother sings actually. My mother sings in a band, and she sings. She was singing
bless her.
since she was like 6 years old. Yeah, well, actually, she usually watches my shows, but I think she probably got sick of the intros and decided that she doesn't want to sing them
Yeah, I'm just
anymore.
breaking your balls.
It's funny. Now, listen, trust me, it's funny. Healing Herb spends a lot of time. What spends a lot of time in the air? Oh, I think maybe the match you and Silas had. Yeah, go follow DBW. Go follow BTW. Il Drago liked my reference about Sunday dinners. Crazy. Pasta Sunday, pizza Fridays. Yeah, that was growing up, it was pizza on Fridays and Sundays were usually a big dinner.
Sauce.
I didn't get sauce every time though. I didn't I wasn't Italian, so I didn't get Italian every Sunday, but I got pizza every Friday because where I grew up was the epicenter of pizza. Let's be honest. For those who don't know, where I grew up was the epicenter of pizza. Bay Ridge, Diker Heights, and Bensonhurst. And to this day, it still is the epicenter, but too late. Thank you for that. No way. We got another 5 to 8 inches coming, and I've already got 2.5 feet of snow out already. So there you go. That's a lot of snow. The chief is here. Yes, hello. Zilla loves your accent, by the way. Loves it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. And he does own a platform, Dooley. It's something that I'm going to talk about further with Ed off the air. That's a big thing. I want to say hello to now this guy. The reason I bring him up is you don't know him, but he's apparently wrestling in a state, Iowa, the state of Iowa, at the Palo Community Center. He's wrestling February 22nd against the man that played a role in your hair being cut, Ace Christian, the VTW World Champion. His name right here is Thomas McEntee, and Thomas McEntee's live with me in 2 weeks on Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, and he's going to talk about this guy, Ace Christian, that was responsible for you having a haircut. So, I mean, you must be a Thomas McEntee fan by default because Ace Christian now is going to Iowa. He's going to the Palo Community Center against Thomas McEntee, and he's flying for the first time to Iowa. So if it's up to you, I'm sure Ace Christian can get lost in the field somewhere in Iowa and not come back, right?
And if he did, I wouldn't know nothing about that, would I, Tom?
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't have a problem with him sleeping with the fishes or maybe ending up somewhere where Hoffa.
I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I'd have nothing to do with it.
That's true.
Hey, what's his
wrestling name is Thomas McEntee.
Thank you.
Thomas McEntee.
He looks like a frail stack of dimes, but I'm not here to make fun of him. I'm here to give him some advice. You drop that kid on his head. There's a Nicky Chooch t-shirt coming in the mail, okay?
Well, you know what? Well, you know what? Stay tuned because I do have a package to open here in a few minutes, which I know Mr.
Not dangerous. I don't keep thinking it's dangerous.
Well, we'll move on.
Nice guy.
Well, we'll move on. Let's move to more comments here. There we go. Let's see here. Who else we got? VTW. Follow VTW. There you go. That's VTW. What else we got here? Go boom, boom, boom. Soldier GP. There's Soldier GP, a man who's going to get a chance to share a locker room with Mr. Ace Christian, and maybe he's scouting you out. A lot of people seem to be tuned into you tonight. You got 172 people watching you right now. Maybe they really were here for you, not Rhino. I think tonight people were like, you know what? We don't want Rhino. We want Nicky Chooch.
Listen, I'm cooler than the guy that calls himself Cope now at this point. We had words. If you ever want to talk about that, it's a pretty good story.
Well, what do you want to say?
But first, Soldier GP, if you're one of the OGs in the locker room, why don't you push that kid up against a locker and teach him a lesson?
Soldier's a kind of guy that probably would do that. Actually, he probably is,
Good.
but actually he would. But you know what? I think
Got some
Soldier's
vibe.
just. He's got a lot of dreads, by the way. A lot of dreads. Mr. Walker, we love Soldier, by the way. Soldier's going to be in your chair next Thursday. Silas would like to say my issues with management, not you. So just saying, that's his issue, not management.
Is that Gainer?
Yes, it's Gainer. Gainer was a big topic on Saturday's show. He is not a fan of Mr. Gainer, which you like, Mr. Gator. Speaking of people in VTW, you know him very well, Mr. D-Lock. What's up, guys? Hope everyone is doing well, and much respect to the Chooch guy. He's killing it right now, and may not like him, but respect the work. I think a lot of people seem to like you tonight, Nicky. You seem to have a lot of people watching you right now, so you must be doing something good. I mean, you must be doing something really good, I suppose, you know.
Listen,
I don't know.
I am the only VTW superstar that in the live stream of more than one VTW show, people have sent money with my name attached to it. Ask about me. Ask about me.
Yeah, all right.
And this right here, this Instagram page, any of you mooks that I'm making fun of you, you got some kind of issue with how I talk and what I say to you, you know where to find me.
Well, we've been putting it up throughout the evening, so I'll certainly do that. But, you know, Nicky, I think it's time. I want to go finally do it because, you know, Nicky, I've been talking about it for almost the whole hour or so. And, you know, I got this package here. Now, I'm a little afraid to open this package. Maybe, you know, this is going to be where I finally sleep with the fishes. Maybe somebody sent me some anthrax. You know, I don't know, Nicky, but I'm
not anthrax.
You know what? I've actually done a few, you know, Nicky, I've actually done a few videos where I would announce my guest and I would get one of these and I would think, oh, it's all right. I'm going to get anthrax here. I'm going to blow up. And I actually get a lot of views for them on Instagram. People seem to watch them. But for you, Nicky, I want to open this. I don't know what it is. Maybe it could be a notice that somebody's coming for me and they're going to knock on my door. And I don't know what, you know, somebody from the neighborhood, you know, has watched me on Sportswire recently and, you know, remembers me as a little young, you know, youth, and they want to now, I don't know, do something to me. I don't know. You know, I don't know what it is. You know, somebody remembers me from the neighborhood and said, you know, I said something and I'm going to open this package. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea.
I've never felt disrespected by you, Tom. And the only people that get, you know what? We don't. You almost had me. I almost talked about it. I almost talked about it.
Yeah, we're going to open this package for the chat. Here we go.
Let's see it.
Doesn't smell like anthrax. The shirt. Oh, wait a minute. I think.
Smells like a winner.
You know what? And how about look at this, ladies and gentlemen? Got a Nicky Chooch shirt here. How about this?
Boom!
Everybody, I'm going to put it on now. How about this? Hey, yo.
That thing is gorgeous.
I'll put it on right now.
Tommy Salami, you're officially a made man. Congratulations.
I don't know if I want to be a made man because I still, you know, you moved. I didn't move.
Hey, you want to be on the sleep with the fishes side? Or you want to be on the made man side? You choose. There's a line.
I'll take the plead the fifth side. Well, I'm gonna put the shirt on though.
All right. This is a start.
What a nice shirt, by the way. I tell you what, Nicky, my whole wardrobe is wrestling shirts, and this will fit nicely into it. I'm going to wear it all day tomorrow. So how about it? What a great shirt, Nicky. Nicky, this is great.
I love it.
Great shirt. And you know what? You can get yours. Go to Nicky's Instagram page, Pro Wrestling Tees. Just go out, buy the shirt, and you can be like Nicky Chooch. And hopefully you come back and wrestle in New York. Hopefully you come back here and wrestle for us. You talked about all these places you were going to wrestle, and I didn't hear New York.
I told you that I was going to end my tour with New York. I'm going to go. It's a homecoming party, but I got to go through the states in order to get there.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, you know, a lot of people seem to like you. I mean, Soldier GP said this guy talks big. I like him. He likes you. Maybe he knows somebody that could book you because apparently this guy Soldier, he knows somebody that through somebody that owns this company, the IMF, which is in Iowa, and that's where Ace Christian is going. So maybe this guy Soldier could talk to this guy Gary who runs and owns the IMF about maybe talking to Nicky Chooch. But you know what? Since I know you, Nicky, yeah, I'll handle it. I'll take care of that, Nicky. Don't you worry. I'll take
Hey,
care of
I've already been contacted by Mr. Pizzo. I'm here to do business all night long. I wake up for business and I go to sleep finishing business.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to disturb you from sleep. I know you got a lot of places to go, but what comment did I miss? And THC is the High Chief. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I didn't realize that. Speaking of things here, when they both start speaking New York, I can't understand what they're talking about, but their enthusiasm is contagious because I'm speaking. Yeah, it's very rare. I will say this, Nicky. It's very rare that I actually speak to somebody from my neck of the woods, literally on here. It's almost never. It's a never actually. It's a never.
I'm glad the enthusiasm is contagious because me and Mr. Tom Bryce don't speak meth mouth, so we don't understand you neither.
I'm gonna certainly plead the fifth on that. That is the whole.
No. You're on my side. Come on.
I know. I'm on a lot of people's sides, but this guy Freddie Dale is another guy. You know, you're getting some people from Iowa. All of a sudden, Iowa seems to be taking an interest in you. Hey, I thought.
Tell me when I'm looking at you. Here or here? On the screen, huh? Which way?
You know what? That's a great
This way?
question. That's a great question, Nicky. But
because I'm going to pull you into this.
Well, you know what? Once when you thought you were out, they suck you right back in. But speaking of people that apparently would fit that description to a T, you know this guy, right? This guy Jack Delta had a stint in DPW. He said a word that I'm not going to repeat, but I know it very well. And you know, you stole money from him. He's gonna wake up breathing through a straw underwater if he keeps running his track. A joke, much love, gentlemen.
Did he dye his hair?
Well, he did, but I don't know what he looks like now because that was like 4 months ago.
A little popcorn fart. I love him.
Oh boy, you definitely went back there and way back, but yeah, I don't know if his hair looks like that.
Listen, I made a dig at him earlier. You knew it was him. Come on.
Yeah, I did actually.
You're the shit stirrer when you want to be, but Jack Delta, good guy. Good guy.
Yes. He's a great guy. I mean, Soldier and him have a little bit of an issue, but that's okay. But Freddie,
if that's gonna cost me a booking, fuck Jack Delta. Okay.
No, it won't. No. Well, actually, it might get you a booking for just saying that. It might get you one, but I'm gonna plead the fifth on that because I happen to like both guys. But Freddie wants to say, "How you doing, Nicky? How you doing?"
Hey, how you doing, Freddie Daniels?
He's doing great, I'm sure. So like, what's next for you? VTW, you conquer VTW recently. VTW is coming back. We talked about what you did in DBW. You like Stephen Gaynor. You've talked about where you want to go, but like, what's next for Nicky Chooch then?
It's the one thing that has evaded me. Excuse me. Since I have started in VTW,
which is what?
And we're gonna go back. We're gonna go even further backwards to a different side of me. That
yeah, well, you know what? I know that side, and
a different color eyes, a different attitude, different hair, different lifestyle, and it's evaded him too.
Yeah,
I'm coming for championship gold.
You coming for Ace Christian?
I'm coming for whoever as soon as I get the opportunity. Honestly, it would be real rewarding to take the belt from the kid that took my hair. But
there's a lot of people here tonight that aren't big fans of him. I see a lot of people not too big fans of him.
He's a joke. He's a kid. He doesn't know shit yet. He just came out of the
prophet of purgatory's
yeah. He was born yesterday, as we say.
Well, he might have made. Yeah, all right. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Ecstatic's not a bad guy. I don't think I necessarily want to take his belt. But if the opportunity presents itself, then yeah, I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna win. But if I could take that belt from Ace Christian at the Reunion Rumble, oh yeah. Or Do I really got to? I don't know if you saw last year's reunion rumble, but I entered at number 1, and I was the
Yes,
longest lasting person in there.
I did. In fact, I think I talked about it. Believe it or not, Ace was here. I want to say almost a year ago. I had him here in like February, and we spoke about that rumble. And you came up then. You actually did. I remember we spoke about it on the air. So yeah, I spoke about it for at least a few minutes with Ace. Then sure.
He ain't the one that threw me out, though.
No, I know that, but we still spoke about it. I mean,
Yeah. Well, what do they say? Well, what's one of those good lightning don't strike twice, or
can't beat somebody 3 times at first. Don't succeed. Keep trying. I mean, if you can't get through the door, you put yourself through. Opportunity waits. Yeah, there's plenty of those, and you might get that opportunity coming up here at the Reunion Rumble.
don't get shit on twice by a pigeon. It might not always be good luck. How about that one?
I wouldn't want it. Well, I wouldn't want to get shit on by a pigeon once, period, let alone twice. That's one of the worst. Do they get pigeons in the Carolinas, by the way? You guys have pigeons still? For those that are here in the chat, this is totally off topic, but do you guys get like pigeons like we get them here in New York? I mean, we get like pigeons. I feel like there are more pigeons than people sometimes.
I want to ask you a personal question.
You ask me anything you want.
I doubt that, because
You can
I
ask
could
me
definitely
anything
take
you
it
want.
there. All right.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, but go ahead, shoot. You tell me what you want to ask me.
I call a lot of people mooks.
Yeah.
You, when I get up in that chat, yes, I'm a fan of your show. Even when I'm not on it.
I know
You
I've seen
don't
you here.
you don't like to play it back on the air, as far as when you're reading, you kind of skip over it.
Because it's kind of like, from when I remember the word, it was kind of like a word that it was not like a curse word, but it's kind of like one of those things. Like I remember that word being used growing up, and it was kind of like, I do this with like not just you, but anybody. If somebody says like any type of word, I just won't like either say it or not. Because one of the things I've done in 6 years, I've done this. I think I've maybe said a profanity word maybe once, twice. It's just it's just not my lingo. So, but I know the word. I know what it means.
You're a good man. I get it. You're the peacekeeper.
So, as you say, most
agree.
of the time. But no. I know the word. I definitely know the word very well. But
I had to address, because obviously now I'm on your show. Now I'm live. Now I'm saying it.
A lot of
Probably
people
about.
like you right now. Nicky, I hope you come back. I mean, maybe we should really have you tomorrow. You know what? I'm going to tell Rhino, forget about coming on tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We're going to bring Nicky on tomorrow, because Nicky's got all these people here. They came out of the woodworks. They came from all over the place. You know what? We're going to tell Rhino, we'll you know what? Forget you, Mr. Rhino. Forget you, Mr. War Machine. Forget you, Mr. Man Beast. We're not going to do the interview. We're going to have Nicky come on tomorrow. What do you think, chat?
Yeah, either me. The only reason, either me or the Sandman.
I would rather have you than the Sandman. I think. I don't know. I watched the Vice documentary on the Sandman. I think the Sandman wouldn't be. I shouldn't say this on the air because he just liked my post and now he's my friend all of a sudden. Tarzan Duran. I don't know if you've ever been on a show with Tarzan Duran. I interviewed Tarzan Duran, and he's kind of like the Sandman. When you talk to Tarzan, I've interviewed him. I know Tarzan a little bit, so I think I'd rather have you, Nicky, on Sportswire than the Sandman. Something tells me that the Sandman may not be as entertaining. It would be some iconic moments, I'm sure. But
what can I say?
I got something though for you, Nicky. I'm gonna pull it up here. Now, apparently, you really have some interest tonight because this company in Iowa, they're the IMF. They're basically like our flagship company here on Sportswire Radio. They're here next Thursday, and they put a proposal out there. And maybe if I could help out in any way or arrange something with that, Nicky Chooch versus Justin Parsley, the guy that you've been saying a number of different things about, would be a banger. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that? Oh, I know that reference. Hey, reference very well. Yeah.
You got a chance to shut my mouth, kid. Maybe you're an old man. I really couldn't tell.
Yeah, I don't
If
know.
it looks like life has aged you, you got a chance to shut my mouth. If I go ahead and I follow through with this and this gets arranged, you got a chance to shut my mouth. But I really doubt that's going to happen.
You know what? I actually, Nikki, you're in luck because the next comment, and I want to say hello to Brandon because Brandon's in the chat. I know you weren't too fond of Brandon earlier, but
Come on.
I love Brandon. But maybe, and this is actually good because I actually own 1/3 of the PWF, and Justin Parsley is the champion of that. So, like, I might be able to arrange that, Nikki, down the road. I actually might be able to arrange that if that. You wanted some championship gold. I know you talked about VTW gold, and I would love to see you get some gold there. But the PWF,
I bet you I could also. I
yeah,
could take over this whole promo federation thing. I'm the
yeah.
best talker in the game.
Well, that's the other thing I own. That's the Pride Wrestling Federation. The
And
promo
that's what
wrestling.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll be a top guy. No problem. Thanks for
We
asking.
actually,
I got you.
actually, I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna make the chat laugh. I bought the Promo Wrestling Federation like 7 months ago from James Taylor, and I mean, we have a Discord chat and things like that. I don't know anything about promo wrestling. I mean, I kind of do now because we have a lot of promo wrestlers come on. Nathaniel's a part of it, a bunch of other guys. But in terms of like running it, I don't have time. So yeah, maybe you should run it. I don't know, but a lot of options here for you. You got Chooch versus Soldier GP. You got Chooch versus Omen Black. I mean, he's the IMF World Champion, and
Sounds like he's trying too hard.
even in North Dakota, they say hello to you. Legendary Backyard Wrestling. I have Legendary Backyard Wrestling coverage next Saturday. And
You're looking at a future legend.
Nicky, well, Nicky, boy, people like you tonight. You know what? I just announced this, 45 minutes before we went on the air, but you are definitely somebody here. Nicky as the PWF champ sounds like it's supposed to be, huh? And you know what?
VTW gold.
They even mentioned in a
gold.
promo wrestling match now. Nathaniel Rage says, "How about Nicky versus the Devil in a promo battle?"
I could make a chain with all the title belts that I'm going to be wearing in 2025, and Nicky versus the Devil.
Nicky, if you actually wanted with all the gold you win, you could actually, I'm sure, hawk that to a pawn shop and get a pretty penny off some of these golds.
No. When it comes to I don't do that kind of disrespect. I'm going to take your company to another height. I'm going to make you realize that you weren't doing it right until you got me. If I go ahead and I take your belt and I take it to a pawn shop, then I leave it off worse than it was in the first place.
Well, maybe you wanted
make things
money.
better.
Maybe you wanted some extra money. I don't know. You wanted to buy.
I'm a good earner. Mm-hmm.
Well, you seem to be a really good earner tonight because you got a lot of people talking to you that, I mean, I didn't really know, but let me come to Brandon. He actually says Sneaky Pete's looking for some more flock members. Well, how would Brandon
Absolutely not.
Well, how would Brandon know anything about that? I don't think he knows anything about that, right? How would he know?
I think him and Sneaky Pete are butt buddies.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that. See, that's why I don't, pronunciate certain words. I will plead the fifth on that one.
They pee in the same urinal.
I'm going to plead the fifth. Thank you very much. And apparently the Chooch is tight with Pete's flock.
No, he's not.
I'm going to move on. Who else we got here? Pete crashes on my couch.
There it is. And shares a toilet.
Nicky versus Soldier GP, no offense, but he's not ready for that. That's a strong comment there. It's a strong comment from Soldier GP.
I have a feeling he's a big guy.
He's very big. He's a big guy. He's really big. He does a stunner. And he actually didn't like Justin Parsley for a while, but sort of respects him now. And he's a pretty big guy. He's the guy, actually, that I reference as injuring Jack Delta. So that's the guy that, he injured him. So, yeah, thinking about that, Nicky, long and hard, I know, but, don't even deny it. But, Nicky, a lot of people, maybe you do have to come back on Sportzwire. Maybe you should come back and maybe we should see you maybe unexpectedly, maybe you are going to go to some different places. You're thinking long and hard here, Nicky. I mean, Nicky, this is like almost like making a bet with a bookie here for you right now. Maybe you're figuring out.
Mrs. Chooch is looking good over there. I'm sorry.
Well, I know you got to get going there. I know you want to see Mrs. Chooch soon, and I can't blame you. But anything else then you want to get off your chest here before you really literally and figuratively maybe get to some of that kind of action?
Well, it started with the hair, and she's pissed about that. She's got a thing from my chest hair. There's my dog. Sorry about that.
Well, that's okay. The dog will get us more views, I'm sure. But the dog.
Yeah, anybody a dog person? My dog is awesome. My whole family is awesome. My Mrs. Chooch is definitely awesome.
I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that, Nicky.
She took it personally when I shaved the chest hair. She's got a thing.
That was a lot of information for me. I appreciate you being honest about that, Nicky. But definitely, I'll remember
Rhino.
that. There he was. Yeah, he was there. He was, and he's going to be here tomorrow night. I know you're getting ready for Mrs. Chooch, but he's getting ready to be here tomorrow night. There he was. The War Machine, the man. I'll tell. You know what? I'll tell Rhino. I'll give Rhino a call that maybe you guys should have a chat. Maybe on Saturday.
Don't tell him I called him square.
Oh, I ain't gonna tell him that. He wouldn't even. He wouldn't. He
don't even got the time to watch this, right?
No. He wouldn't watch this if it was like
everybody else does, but not Rhino.
Well, he doesn't have to. He's Rhino. He's the last proper ECW world champion. He's a former WCW United States champion, one half of the first SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and TNA Hall of Famer. Yeah, I'm not going to ask him to watch this, but actually,
he's also
apparently
the reason why the situation with Jeff Hardy and Edge, that perfect spear off the ladder, he's the reason that happened.
He talks about it all the time. Yep, he talks about that. And the funny thing was, WrestleMania 17, he was taking a nap backstage, and I think, like, speaking of people from our neck of the woods, Bubba Ray Dudley wanted to really have him sleep with the fishes, but then he was like, all right, you were in ECW. I'll give you a pass. He's in a hurry to be an extra for the Sopranos remake. Well, I hear that Drea Di Matteo's doing a few things about that, but I'll leave that at that. But have a good night, Nicky. And I know you're going to get going here soon, but Nicky Chooch versus Justin Parsley would like to happen from Zilla, and she'd like to see Nicky Chooch dethrone Justin Parsley. And Drago now says he'll have to show off his dog maybe next Sunday. So you now have got everybody wanting to show off their dogs. But
Samoan Husky, that sounds like a beautiful breed of a dog right there.
Well, he's the high chief, and Ed wants to say, what a great... Yeah, this was like... I got to say, Nicky, Nicky, bring the dog on the stage before we go. Nicky, bring the dog on the stage. And
tell us his belly rubbed, but...
Well, rub the dog on the stage. Let's give you closing thoughts before we sign off here. What do you want to say other than you love your dog? And you love...
This is Opie. He's a half pit, half husky.
Not to be confused with OPP, right? You know me. I'm OPP. Not
you down with OPP?
Yeah, actually, I do have one naughty by nature story. I was actually in Manhattan years ago. I might have been like 13 years ago. I was in an elevator, and I was in the elevator with KG, who's the DJ for Naughty by Nature. And I was actually in just an elevator. I was just randomly in some building I was working in. It's like a fancy building, and I was like, "Hey, are you the guy that's in Naughty by Nature?" He's like, "Yeah." I spoke to him for a few minutes, and I should have took a photo with him, but it was like,
"Oh, get the fuck out of here!"
I did. I had I spoke to him for like a minute. It was like, "Hey, what's you Naughty by Nature? Mr. OPP, Hip Hop Array, and all that stuff." And he was like, "Yeah." It was like shook my hand, and he was a nice guy. But yeah, Zilla, thank you for loving dogs and cats. It was a fun moment. But I know you got to get to Mrs. Chooch, and I want to give you.
I'll share a missed opportunity with you before we go. You familiar with? We were talking about Iowa tonight. Yep. A lot of conversation about Iowa. Slipknot.
Oh yeah, of course. I know
from
Slipknot.
Iowa.
Of course.
I caught the great Joey Jordison's drumstick.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding.
I don't have it anymore.
What's the matter with you?
You're telling me. We were partying so hard that night after the concert that I went to this hotel. We get back in the car the next day, and nowhere to be found. I had to have left it at the hotel. I'll give it to myself, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I know what that was. My dad would give that to me a few times when I was,
yeah.
Which I caused him a lot of trouble as a youth. But that's a good moment. But
a youth?
Yeah, I was, some people say I'm still a youth, but but that's here nor there. Nicky, I know you got to get to Mrs. Chooch, so I'm giving you the floor. I'm giving you some closing thoughts. This was really I got to say, Nicky, maybe we should have you here tomorrow instead of Rhino. And yeah, this was like one of the best episodes I've done in a while. I mean, well, at least this year, because, get a 2025 calendar year, but a lot of fun. I mean, so I hope you come back.
You know what? If you want me back, you better be wearing that. You better be wearing that shirt, and you got.
You know what? I have so many wrestling shirts. Every time my guests come on, usually Nicky, I usually wear their shirt. That's my uniform. That's my uniform attire. So yeah,
show the people that uniform one more time.
I'm gonna do that while I put your Instagram up because my mouse died. So I want to pull up your Instagram here one more time. There we go. to go like this. I'm going to go like this. And then, boom, bada bing, bada boom. There it is, Nicky
Bada
Chooch.
bang.
There it is. So go ahead. You got the floor while I take this off the screen.
Oh, I'm on the spot now.
Yeah,
I
close
don't
the
know.
door. Just thank everybody for tuning in, and you'll be back, and
I will be back. I will be returning with Mr. Tom Bryce. You have been a gentleman, a scholar, and pleading the fifth a little bit too much for my liking, but I really
I
appreciate
did,
you.
unfortunately or fortunately, I do have a background where I did go to school for law and I took criminal justice. So that's where I did kind of like deviate from the neighborhood a little bit. Like I kind of did deviate because I, did do some different things that kind of, got me away from kind of the some of my youths in the neighborhood that didn't maybe make it as far. Let's just put it that way.
Sometimes you got to do some stuff to keep your nose clean. I got out of crime and got into wrestling. 2006.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, Nick.
I got out of the hard drinking. I got out of the the nose candy, all that stuff. Okay, we don't gotta go too far into detail, but I want to tell these people that I am on every single platform. So if you guys like me, if you guys want to get more of everything, I'm on Pro Wrestling Tees. Go in the search bar, type in Nicky Chooch, I dare you, and see if a t-shirt don't come up. Go on to YouTube. I got my own channel. You know what?
Facebook.
I have a Facebook fan page. Type in Nicky Chooch. Here I am. There's not a lot of Nicky Chooches running around.
You know what's funny, Nicky? Even in like Brooklyn and Staten Island, I actually don't know a Nicky Chooch. I know a lot of people with a lot of names, and there actually isn't a Nicky Chooch that I've ran across from the neighborhood, believe it or not.
If you Google me, I will come up. I will be one of the first things that you get. You will see something about me, whether it's a T-shirt, whether it's the Facebook page. Let's see. I don't do the Twitter on there.
X is a dead platform. It's a dead platform.
It's not what it used to be.
No.
You know what I mean? I got a link tree. So if you go to the link tree, you get everything. You ain't getting my Snapchat,
Does anybody use Snapchat still? Like, is that still a thing? Like, I don't know. Is it like a thing?
Hey, a couple buddies. Actually, me and Costelli, we'd be goofing around all the time. I love the guy.
Well, Brandon, I could see that could be Brandon's humor, but stick to Instagram, stick to Facebook, YouTube, follow Nicky Chooch. I put the links up here, merchandise, and I want to say hello to my buddy. Actually, speaking of buddies from the neighborhood, my buddy Barry Gutman's from the neighborhood. He's actually from the neighborhood. He's from Sheepshead Bay, and he says, "What's up, Tom?" One of my buddies for 13 years. There he goes.
Barry.
He knows me before I had mutton chops. He actually knows me before mutton chops.
You said you were gonna put a picture of you without the mutton chops, and I missed it.
I'll put it up. I'll put it up. I've actually done it a million times, but let me do it here for you. Because
while you're looking for it, I do. While you're looking for it, I just want to tell this guy that anytime I ever I got in trouble, I was trespassing somewhere, something like that. I always told them my name was Barry.
Well, Barry's a big boy. Barry's a very big boy. And you know what? Since you wanted it, you got it. Here you go. There I was. Before I had a photo with Rhino. This was me and Barry. This was almost 7 years ago. It was September 11th, 2018. We were at a September 11th memorial in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, off Shore Road and 69th Street. It was then former state senator Marty Gold, and every year they would do a memorial for all the people that were unfortunately killed during the September 11th attacks, and that was that area was probably the most impacted area of it. And Barry and I were there, and Barry snapped a photo, and there I was without the mutton chops, and that's Barry.
My God, you look like a kid.
Some people still say I look like a kid, though. But
I could see you as one of the kids in the front row doing the sucking in the Attitude Era, like you just.
No, you know what? Not really. I wasn't. I'm 6 foot, so I wasn't. I was never in the front of the class. Usually, I was usually in the back. I was usually in the back. I was kind of like a middle of the road student. Let's put it that way. Sometimes I was a good student. Sometimes I wasn't. Thank you, Barry. What about Nicky Chooch? Oh, he's not in the IMF yet. I mean, he could show up, but he's not there yet. We'll talk about it.
We're about to be in talks.
we'll talk about that off the air. And I got Snapchat still. Yes, Barry is a hardcore gamer. And Barry, are you on at 11 o'clock? I mean, because I know Barry's on YouTube. Hardcore Gamer Talk Show. Give him a follow. My mouse died, Barry, so unfortunately I can't snap up the link for the YouTube. But do check him out. Barry's one of my buddies for a long time, and he just bought a new gaming chair, I think. And
So that was you and Barry?
That's me and Barry. Yep, me and Barry from 13 years ago. Yep, that's me and Barry.
I appreciate you for all the aliases, Barry. I was in New York 9/11/2002. So very fresh. And they put up the 2 lights.
Yep. I actually remember my dad worked he worked right about like 3 blocks away from September 11th. And they say part of his death is due to that, unfortunately. So that was kind of a bummer. But yeah, it's all, well, he lived like 12 more years, but
I know what you mean.
Cancer was actually due to that, but that's a different show for a different time. And this was Nicky Chooch. We're going to end on a high note here because Nicky is going to be back, and Nicky is definitely made for prime time. And get his shirt, because you know what? He's one of us. He made it, and he's going to make it to even bigger and better places. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. And yeah, 10 o'clock, if you feel like tuning in tomorrow, some guy Rhino will be on here. If not, I could say skip the show. But still wait. I know, Barry, it's been a crazy last week, but I will send you a shirt. And Ed loves the name Chooch. Ed, I will talk to you off the air, Ed. I'll talk to you if you're around. If you're up in like 20 minutes, I'll give you a buzz. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Follow Nicky Chooch. Follow Barry. Follow everybody else in the chat. And I'll see you soon. 10 o'clock tomorrow for Rhino. And be there and be square. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Thanks.